Buick in Clinton. Also brought to you by Peterson Insurance Services in Clinton, Mancy Metal in Mount Zion, Jerry Two Hill and your Central Illinois Stone Seed dealers, Maroa Ag, Enel Green Energy, AAK Mechanical in Clinton, Wiffles Hybrids, and Heartland Bank and Trust.
This is staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with your regional radio forecast. High temperatures reach up to 86 today under overcast skies, southwesterly winds 20 to 25 miles per hour. Cloudy skies expected again tonight, scattered thunderstorms likely, lows of a low around 59. Scattered thunderstorms likely tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 72, overcast skies. Hear weather twice an hour or online anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. Currently, it's 74.
ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties is proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the WHOW Clinton Maroon Player of the Game, announced at the end of every Maroon sports broadcast. Our WHOW announcing staff will select that night's WHOW ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties Clinton Maroon Player of the Game, whose play will be highlighted in each WHOW Maroon postgame broadcast, and that player receives a certificate. Remember ServPro of Piatt DeWitt Counties, the leader in cleaning, restoration, and construction. Find out their services by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Clinton High School will present diplomas to their graduating seniors during their traditional graduation ceremony at the high school gym on Sunday, May 22nd at 2 p.m. WHOW's many platforms, on air at 92.3 FM in DeWitt County and streamed at DeWittDailyNews.com, on the WHOW mobile app, and Amazon Alexa will broadcast this special event live. Tune in and listen as the names of this year's Clinton High School graduating seniors are read and their diplomas are given out. Brought to you by DeWitt Savings Bank, located at 302 West Main in Clinton, your hometown community bank. And Clinton Antique Mall, located at 54 and 51 West in Clinton. Good luck and congratulations to the 2022 graduates.
You're listening to The Morning Show on the Big 1520 across Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. My guest in studio, DeWitt County Board Chair Terry Ferguson, as we follow up the Thursday night DeWitt County Board meeting. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Seth.
This rain is rather untimely, I'm sure.
Yeah. The guys are trying to finish up beans, and we just keep getting these little drizzles that interrupt everything.
I know it, right?
Of course, the fellows that's got the beans that are struggling to get through, get emerged, they need a little rain. So
now, are you all done with planting and all that stuff?
No, I still got beans to plant.
How much more beans do you like?
Well, I got about 160 acres.
Okay. How many acres do you farm nowadays?
I only farm about 320.
So you're about half done,
yeah,
give or
I'm pretty
take.
well retired. So.
There you go. Good deal. Awesome. Well, best of luck getting those in. Hopefully, it sounds like it's going to rain. Other than today, it sounds like it's going to rain for quite a while, tonight and tomorrow.
It does.
So, man, Sunday you think, or you're going to need a day or two?
I think Sunday's going to be okay.
Yeah. How wet? How wet can it be, and you still get a crop in the ground?
Well, you need to have it so it's, you're not making mud balls out there.
Yeah, you don't want to get stuck, right?
No.
Well, let's dive into the Thursday night DeWitt County Board meeting, Terry, and let's start with here this morning. Let's talk a little bit about the marina and property management. This was on the docket, late last year, maybe? Am I remembering that right?
We voted to extend the lease for 1 year there last October, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going through quite a few changes and improvements. And Dan Matthews gave a pretty good argument that changing horses here in the middle of the year like this is we need a little more time to think about what the future of the marina is for the county.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to continue with a partner, a kind of a contract management? Do we want to go with an employee of the county running it, or do we want to sell it?
Mm-hmm.
And with the new board coming up this fall, new and taking over in December. There's going to be quite a bunch of new names and faces there, and he thought we ought to kind of continue as is one more year and give the new board a chance to fully digest what the long range plan for the marina is.
Yeah, sure. Well, and I'm not privy to the conversation last night because I was at a ball game, and by the time I got home, your meeting had adjourned, it sounds like. But remembering back to the conversation that took place several months ago, I don't think it was an issue of, the management itself. It was an issue of the financials of the contract that was in place.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it is. There's some tweaking that needs to be done on the contract to make everything work a little better. But
so why can't the county just renegotiate a new contract?
Well, in order to do that, you gotta reopen the contract. You gotta put it out for bid and determine what we want to do, and to keep going with to spend the time we need to develop the long range plan for the marina.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to enter into another agreement like we've got now when maybe that really isn't what we want to do.
Okay.
So we want
would that process just take too long?
Yeah.
So how do you balance? Because if I remember right, the county is basically losing money on the current contract, or at least that's the thought process of some board members. So how do you?
That's some of the thoughts. Some of the board thinks that that it's too lucrative for the operator. The county, we're getting 48% of the revenue from the slip rent, and maybe that number isn't. Maybe it could be a little higher. We don't know. When the contract was proposed earlier, when the group that's there now were the only ones that submitted a bid,
mm-hmm.
and their proposal was to let the county keep 48% of the revenue, and they'd take the rest of it for management and make improvements in the facility with their own resources as well as the county's.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to step back and look and see how we really want to do that. Peoria has a city-owned facility that it's ran by city employees.
Is that how DeWitt County's is run?
No, it's more of a landlord-tenant relationship.
I see. So how do you feel about that? I mean, listening to you talk about it just now makes sense a little bit to me. I mean, you've got Joe Caldwell and his group. They do most of the work out there. They're investing money, their money into it. They're, trying to make the improvements and all those things. It would make sense. He gets, just over the majority of that funding. How about that from your perspective?
Well, it's a fine line. It depends on, I think where we seem like we spend a lot of time is dealing with the small issues. The contract doesn't actually state who's supposed to take care of what. We end up getting maintenance projects that are brought forward to the committee. Some of those I think need to be settled in the contract so we don't have to constantly keep trying to decide whether we're going to hire an electrician to repair a gang of lights or whether
mm-hmm.
the guy that's running the show can go do it himself.
Right.
Kind of stuff.
Well, but I mean, it's those small details that, it could ultimately kind of nickel and dime the county. And that's where the financial picture kind of comes into play about, how much is the county investing and getting back and all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So what did the board ultimately decide on that issue, Terry?
They voted 7-5 to extend it for one more year.
Okay.
At the end of this season, we're going to ask for an audit with an auditing firm to determine where the money comes from, where it goes,
mm-hmm.
and then we can establish the parameters for initiating a new process after the 23 year.
Yeah. Now, was that acceptable to board members from, that maybe wanted to see the process start itself over in terms of renegotiation?
Well, I think it was a divided group. It was a divided vote. I don't think anybody was changed their mind any.
Yeah. Okay.
But,
I didn't know if that was like a compromise for
No.
some folks or what the story was there.
No,
So.
that was just the way we'd started with an audit for the 21 year.
Uh-huh.
But if we're going to extend it for another year, it only makes sense to have a more recent audit when you get ready to bid it out again.
Yeah.
So everybody will be on the level playing field.
Gotcha. Anything else on that issue we didn't talk about?
That's good enough.
Well, Terry, I'll tell you what, like I told you before we got started, our time together is a little shorter today due to our planning reports that are being aired here this week. And so with that, let's take a time out and we'll come back and dive in a little more to the Thursday night DeWitt County Board meeting with Board Chair Terry Ferguson on the WHOW Morning Show, streamed to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Friday. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn lower, beans mostly lower, and wheat starting the day lower. July corn 776.5, down 6 3/4. September corn down 743.5, and December new crop 728. That's down 8 to start the day. July beans 1691, up half a penny. August beans down 1/4, 1630 1/4. November new crop 1513 1/4, down 1 1/4. July wheat starting the day 1188 1/2, down 12. September wheat down 10 1/4, 1195 3/4. December wheat $12 1/2, down 9 1/2. July bean meal opening 424.10, down 120, and July bean oil 80.10. That's up 57 cents. That's a look at the opening numbers at the Chicago Board of Trade for this Friday morning. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
Having a hard time finding the correct new car, truck, SUV, or crossover to fit your needs? This is Scott Baum from Bob Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. Some lots look low on inventory, so go to our website, look at our pre-order and reserve tab. You'll see inventory in transit, which are built and on their way to Clinton, and in production, new Chevys and Buicks, which are being built and will arrive soon. Or you can always call our sales team. They can help you find the correct one just for you. BombChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
Here's a supply chain update from your Clinton Save-A-Lot. Owner Dave Jackson here to let you know that despite our best efforts, many times we're seeing specific items simply disappear off of our store shelves. Our suppliers are halting production of slower items to concentrate on the higher volume products. Keeping our shelves appearing full is becoming more difficult, but you have my personal guarantee we are pulling out all of the stops to keep the freshest meat and produce and the items you buy every day stocked and on our shelves. Your Clinton Save-A-Lot appreciates your business, and we hope to see you soon.
This is the morning show on 92.3 FM in DeWitt County, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. My guest in studio, Terry Ferguson, DeWitt County Board Chair, as we follow up the Thursday night DeWitt County Board meeting. Terry, let's talk about salaries for county employees, county office holders. What do you got going on there?
We have to have the salaries set for the elected officials by the 1st of June. The ones running for election this fall are the sheriff, the treasurer, and the county clerk. And the state of Illinois came up with a new method of paying the sheriff. If the sheriff receives 80% of what the state's attorney's salary is, the state of Illinois will pick up 2/3 of it. It's kind of a convoluted way to do things, but
does the state actually pay you that money though?
Yeah.
Do they
Yeah.
Really? All right. Well, good for them.
So, it will reduce the amount of local dollars that go into the sheriff's salaries, and it ends up giving the sheriff quite a nice pay raise. The county clerk and the treasurer, we set their salaries at what the outgoing elected officials' salaries are going to be. And there'll be a 2% raise per year during the 4-year term. But, it's usually, we have quite a debate about that. So there's some thought process is that you've got an experienced person leaving, or you're bringing in a new person that's inexperienced. Do you give them the same pay the other person was getting, or do you reduce it? And and then the thought process on that is, some think that, well, you're paying for the job. The job was being done by a person for a given amount. The next person coming in should be paid accordingly. So
Well, and it's an interesting conversation to take up. What did the board ultimately decide on those?
Well, we're gonna start out the new people where the old folks were.
Okay. All right.
Outgoing officials' salary was.
Yeah, sure. Well, and you don't have a new sheriff coming in, it doesn't
No,
sound
we don't.
like, but new clerk and
New clerk and
treasurer coming in, correct?
Dana and they're and the treasurer, they're retiring.
Right.
So.
Right. Sure. So very good. All right, Terry. Well, that settles that. Let's dive into ARPA money, because this was something that a lot of folks were kind of looking forward to, just in terms of being able to distribute that, take advantage of it, whatever the case may be, whichever side of the coin you fall on there. What's the update on this? What's going on here?
Well, we put out the word that we were accepting applications for ARPA grants to the community for businesses, nonprofits and such. And got 40 responses, 40 requests for funding, for a total of $6.5 million. We only received $3 million, or only supposed to receive $3 million. But as of yet, we've only got $1.5 million in hand. And it's still questionable as to whether or not we're going to get the second installment. So we put a hold on all the public grants.
Why is there a question if you would receive the rest?
Well, the Treasury's kind of put out the word that things are, because of inflation and stuff, that may or may not be coming.
So we decided we may not want to print all the money we committed to. Maybe
I think that might be the case.
Gotcha.
So we don't want to award anything and then
and then not be able to
deliver.
Yeah.
So, but we did have a request from the 911 center for new console workstations for the dispatchers, and they're quite specialized equipment. I think it was about $92,000, and we were going to use ARPA money for that. But because of the discussion of some of the board members have concerns about, well, we're going to end up using all the money for county purposes and not have anything left to distribute to the community. That motion got defeated. So we're on hold right now for buying the new consoles. Now, my opinion is everybody benefits from the 911 dispatch center. It's a matter of public safety, and what better use of that funding could you use than to properly fund the 911 dispatch center.
Sure. I mean, you got to get that money distributed, and it sounds like it's going to go into the community, whether it's through nonprofits or, updates to county folks. It doesn't sound like there's much movement on it then at this point.
No, we're going to, hopefully we'll hear something from the Treasury soon about if and when that second installment's going to come, and then we can determine how much we want to allocate to the community and how much we want to save back for the county.
So right now it's just a matter of you don't know what you want to do with it.
Yeah, we don't know how much we're going to get, so therefore we don't know how much to allocate for certain projects.
Remind us what you can and can't do with that money.
Well, the rules have changed multiple times through this process, and right now we can pretty well do whatever we want with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's considered it's treated as lost revenue money. So anything that we can use county tax dollars for could be used. The ARPA money could be used for that.
Okay.
But we had requests for new meeting rooms for fire stations, bleachers for the Farmer City Fair, an addition at the Y. There was some pretty extensive projects. We had some others that the Genealogical Society wanted a new computer. You know, it's a pretty reasonable request. And so, you know, we got requests for small projects, requests for large projects. So we'll need to decide what we're going to use the funding for.
You have a deadline on when you need to distribute that by, decide what you're going to do with it?
It's got to be distributed and utilized by the end of 25.
Oh, gosh. We got plenty of time.
Yeah, we got plenty of time.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm sure these groups, though, they want to know something before 25, though. You know what I mean? So maybe you're caught between a rock and a hard place a little bit.
We kind of are right now. I'm hoping with the backlog gets broken here and we get a final resolution to what we're going to get. You know, you can't make awards with funding that you don't have.
Exactly. Well, Terry, thanks for coming out, my friend. Best of luck in the field the rest of the way. Terry Ferguson, DeWitt County Board Chair, our guest in studio, following up the Thursday night DeWitt County Board meeting. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton.